Tom Holland may have just given fans one of the biggest clues yet about his relationship with Zendaya. After months of speculation, private moments, and endless questions surrounding their relationship, Tom was recently spotted wearing something that immediately caught everyone's attention, a gold band on his left hand. And suddenly, one simple piece of jewelry became the center of a much bigger story. Because according to reports, Tom and Zendaya recently celebrated their marriage with an incredibly private gathering in England, surrounded by family and a very small circle of people. No massive red carpet. No huge public announcement. No army of cameras waiting outside the venue. Instead, everything was reportedly kept extremely quiet. And that secrecy may actually tell us more about Tom and Zendaya than any public announcement ever could. So, what really happened behind those closed doors? Why did the couple reportedly choose such a private celebration? Who was there? And why did Tom's new jewelry suddenly become such a major talking point? Let's take a closer look. For years, Tom Holland and Zendaya have been one of Hollywood's most closely watched couples. Their relationship began under the spotlight, but over time, the two have made it very clear that they value their private life. Fans have watched them grow from young Spider-Man co-stars into two of the biggest stars in the world. And while millions of people have followed their journey, Tom and Zendaya have consistently tried to keep the most important parts of their relationship away from the cameras. That makes every little detail feel significant. A photograph, a comment, a piece of jewelry, a casual appearance together. Sometimes, that's all it takes for fans to start putting the pieces together. And this time, the piece that got everyone's attention was sitting right on Tom Holland's hand. According to reports, Tom and Zendaya recently celebrated what has been described as an ultra-private wedding celebration in England. The reported gathering allegedly took place near Tom's hometown, giving the event an especially personal feeling. Rather than choosing a highly publicized celebrity destination, the couple reportedly went somewhere much more secluded. The venue reportedly associated with the celebration was Beaverbrook, a luxury country estate known for its beautiful grounds, private atmosphere, and high-end accommodations. The location itself would make sense for a couple trying to avoid unnecessary attention. Instead of a traditional celebrity wedding surrounded by photographers, reporters, and crowds, the setting offered something completely different. Privacy, space, and the ability to celebrate with family without turning the entire occasion into a public spectacle. But perhaps the most interesting part wasn't even the venue. It was what happened afterward. According to the report, security around the event was extremely heavy. Family members who were invited reportedly stayed in cottages spread across the enormous estate. That detail is important because it suggests that privacy wasn't simply a preference. It may have been one of the biggest priorities of the entire celebration. Imagine having one of the world's most recognizable young couples trying to celebrate one of the most important moments of their lives while knowing that millions of people are waiting for even the smallest clue. That's the reality Tom and Zendaya have had to deal with for years. Every time they step outside together, someone has a camera. Every time they wear something different, fans notice. Every time one of them says something about the other, headlines appear. So when it comes to something as personal as marriage, it makes sense that they would want to control the situation themselves. And that's where Tom's comments about keeping secrets become especially interesting. Tom has openly acknowledged that keeping secrets can be exhausting. The pressure of knowing something that everyone else desperately wants to know can become overwhelming. But there's another side to that. Sometimes keeping something private isn't about hiding it. It's about protecting it. And that seems to be one of the biggest themes in Tom and Zendaya's relationship. They don't necessarily seem interested in proving anything to the public. They don't need to constantly show fans what they're doing. They don't need to document every dinner, every holiday, every celebration. Instead, they appear to have built a relationship where some moments belong only to them. And if the reports about the private celebration are accurate, this may have been the ultimate example of that philosophy. A major milestone, a huge emotional moment, and almost no public access. But there was another fascinating clue. The venue reportedly appeared to have hosted some kind of outdoor celebration, including what looked like a dance floor. Photographs taken after the event allegedly showed a crew taking down parts of the setup. And that detail immediately created another question. Did Tom Holland actually get the chance to celebrate the way a groom normally would? Because Tom has another major project on the horizon. He's preparing for his upcoming Fred Astaire biopic, which means dance training has already become part of his life. And if there really was a dance floor at the celebration, Tom may have had the perfect opportunity to show off everything he's been practicing. The timing couldn't be more interesting. On one side, he's preparing to portray one of the most legendary dancers in entertainment history. On the other, he's reportedly celebrating one of the biggest moments of his personal life. And those two worlds may have collided during the celebration. Tom himself has joked about the physical demands of dance training, including dealing with blisters. So, if there was dancing at the private gathering, perhaps Tom didn't need much encouragement to get onto the dance floor. But the real significance wasn't the dancing. It was the people who were reportedly there. Tom's family has always been important to him. And when you look at the reported guest arrangements, the event appears to have been designed around family rather than celebrity. His younger brothers Sam, Harry, and Patty were reportedly among the family members connected to the celebration. That gives the story a much more intimate feeling. This wasn't necessarily about throwing the biggest celebrity party imaginable. It was reportedly about bringing together the people closest to Tom and Zendaya. And that's something that fits the way Tom has spoken about his family throughout his career. Despite becoming a global superstar at a young age, Tom has often maintained a connection to his roots. His family has been part of his journey from the beginning. They've seen him grow from a young actor into Spider-Man. They've watched him deal with fame. They've watched his career explode. And they've watched his relationship with Zendaya develop over the years. So, if the couple really wanted an intimate celebration, it makes sense that family would be at the center of it. There was even a playful detail involving Tom's brothers. According to the report, they were apparently following a floral or wildflower-inspired theme, incorporating flowers into their outfits. It may sound like a tiny detail, but sometimes those small details are what make a celebration feel real. Instead of an enormous Hollywood production, you get family members joking around, dressing up, dancing, and celebrating together. That's the kind of atmosphere many couples actually want for a wedding. Something personal. Something emotional. Something that doesn't feel like a movie premiere. And perhaps that's exactly what Tom and Zendaya were trying to create. A moment that belonged to them. Of course, the couple themselves have not publicly provided every detail of the reported celebration. And that silence is part of what makes the story so fascinating. Because Tom and Zendaya have become experts at saying just enough without revealing too much. They know that anything they say can instantly become a headline. They know that a single sentence can be taken out of context. And they know that millions of fans are watching. So rather than explaining every detail, they often let their actions speak for themselves. And that brings us to another moment that caught everyone's attention. Shortly after the reported celebration, Tom and Zendaya were reportedly seen together during a casual coffee run in London. And instead of looking like two celebrities attending a major event, they looked like an ordinary couple enjoying a normal day. Zendaya was reportedly dressed casually in an oversized shirt and jeans. Tom was seen in a baseball cap and pleated trousers. And joining them was their bulldog, Phil. It was an incredibly ordinary scene. But there was one detail that wasn't so ordinary. Tom's left hand. There it was. A gold band. And suddenly, the casual coffee run became a major talking point. Because jewelry can mean many things. A ring doesn't automatically prove a marriage. Celebrities wear rings for fashion. They wear jewelry for personal reasons. They receive gifts. They experiment with different styles. But in this particular context, fans immediately connected the ring to the reports surrounding Tom and Zendaya. And that connection is what made the moment so interesting. Zendaya had already been photographed wearing a ring that attracted enormous attention. Now Tom appeared to be wearing one as well. For fans who have followed the couple for years, it felt like another chapter in a story that began with two young actors meeting through Spider-Man. Their relationship has been a journey watched by millions. But perhaps what's most fascinating is how little they have actually given the public. The audience knows their names. We know their careers. We know they worked together. We know they became close. For years, Tom Holland and Zendaya have tried to keep the most important parts of their relationship away from the public eye. But now, one tiny detail may have revealed more than either of them intended. A gold ring. A private celebration. Family members reportedly gathered at a luxury estate in England. And then, just days later, Tom Holland was spotted casually walking through London with Zendaya, wearing what appeared to be a wedding band on his left hand. For fans, this wasn't just another celebrity sighting. It felt like a missing piece of a puzzle that had been building for years. But the real question isn't simply whether Tom is wearing a ring. The real question is why this couple has gone to such extraordinary lengths to keep their biggest moments private. And when you understand their journey, the answer becomes much clearer. Tom Holland and Zendaya have always had something unusual about their relationship. They became famous together, but they never seemed interested in turning their romance into a public performance. That's especially surprising considering how much attention surrounds them. When two actors become the stars of one of the world's biggest movie franchises, fans naturally become interested in everything about them. Their chemistry on screen became a talking point. Their friendship became a talking point. Their appearances together became a talking point. And eventually, their relationship became one of the biggest celebrity stories in the world. But Tom and Zendaya never seemed to follow the traditional Hollywood playbook. They didn't constantly post romantic photographs. They didn't reveal every detail of their relationship. They didn't turn every special occasion into a social media announcement. Instead, they appeared to create a boundary. The world could know they loved each other, but the world didn't necessarily get to know everything about that love. And perhaps that boundary has become even more important as they've grown older. Because fame changes everything. A normal couple can go out for coffee without worrying about whether someone is secretly taking photographs. A normal couple can buy something together without seeing headlines about it the next morning. A normal couple can wear a ring without millions of people analyzing what it means. Tom and Zendaya don't have that luxury. Their private lives can become entertainment within seconds. And that's why their reported private celebration is so fascinating. Imagine planning one of the most important days of your life while knowing that the entire world wants to see it. That's the challenge Tom and Zendaya would face. If they held a huge public wedding, photographers would be everywhere. Fans would gather outside. Every guest would become a headline. Every outfit would be analyzed. Every photograph would appear online within minutes. And the couple would lose control over their own story. So instead, according to reports, the celebration was extremely private. The reported location was Beaverbrook, a luxurious country estate in England. The property is known for its beautiful surroundings and secluded atmosphere. It isn't the kind of place where a major celebrity celebration would necessarily attract the same attention as a public venue in central London. And that may have been exactly the point. Privacy, space, security, family. Those four things appear to have been at the center of the reported celebration. And then came another important detail. Security was reportedly extremely heavy. Family members who attended were said to have stayed in cottages across the huge estate. That would make it much easier for everyone to remain together while also keeping unwanted visitors away. It also suggests that the couple wasn't taking any chances. Because when you're talking about Tom Holland and Zendaya, even a small leak can become an international headline. One of the sweetest parts of the reported celebration is the involvement of Tom's family. Tom has never hidden how important his family is to him. His younger brothers have been part of his life long before Spider-Man changed everything. They knew Tom before the fame, before the red carpets, before the massive movie premieres, before the millions of followers. And that makes their presence at a major personal milestone even more meaningful. According to the report, Tom's brothers Sam, Harry, and Patty were among the family members connected to the celebration. There was even a playful floral detail involving their outfits. They reportedly incorporated flowers into their buttonholes as part of the celebration's wildflower-inspired theme. It's a small detail, but it paints a very different picture from the image people might expect when they hear the words Hollywood wedding. Instead of endless celebrities and photographers, imagine family members laughing together. Imagine brothers getting ready. Imagine people staying in cottages across a huge estate. Imagine a dance floor being prepared outside. Imagine music playing late into the evening. And imagine Tom Holland finally getting a chance to celebrate without having to worry about cameras. That is what makes this story feel so personal. There's another detail that shouldn't be overlooked. After the reported celebration, photographs allegedly showed a crew dismantling what appeared to be an outdoor dance floor. At first, it might seem like an insignificant detail, but considering Tom's upcoming Fred Astaire project, it becomes a lot more interesting. Tom has been training intensely for his role portraying the legendary dancer and performer. And dance training isn't exactly easy. It requires hours of repetition. It requires physical conditioning. And it can be painful. Tom has even joked about ending up with blisters from his training. So imagine putting all of that preparation into practice at a celebration surrounded by the people you love. Perhaps Tom didn't need much convincing to get onto that dance floor. Maybe he was already ready. And there's something almost cinematic about the image. Tom Holland, the actor famous for playing Spider-Man, celebrating one of the biggest moments of his personal life while preparing to portray one of the greatest dancers in entertainment history. Two completely different parts of his life coming together. His career and his family. Then came the moment that fans couldn't stop talking about. Tom and Zendaya were reportedly spotted together in London after the private celebration. Nothing about the outing appeared particularly dramatic. It was a simple coffee run. Zendaya reportedly wore an oversized shirt with jeans. Tom wore a baseball cap and pleated trousers. Their bulldog, Phil, was also with them. It was the kind of moment that could happen to almost any couple. But then people noticed Tom's hand, his left hand, and suddenly, the ordinary coffee run became headline material. Tom appeared to be wearing a gold band. And because of everything surrounding the couple at that moment, fans immediately connected the dots. A reported private celebration. Marriage rumors. Zendaya's own ring. Tom referring to Zendaya as his wife. And now Tom wearing a gold band. For fans who have followed their story for years, it was almost impossible not to wonder whether the couple had quietly entered a new chapter. But Tom wasn't the first one to attract attention with jewelry. Zendaya had already caused a major reaction when she appeared wearing a ring that fans interpreted as a possible wedding band. Her jewelry became a subject of online discussion. People zoomed in on photographs. They compared appearances. They analyzed which hand she wore the ring on. And every new image seemed to create another round of speculation. Then Tom appeared with his own gold band. And suddenly the conversation became even louder. But here's the important thing. A ring by itself doesn't tell the entire story. People wear rings for countless reasons. Fashion, personal meaning, gifts,
Tradition,
or marriage. So it's important not to treat jewelry as absolute proof of something unless the couple themselves confirms it. What makes this situation interesting is the larger context. It's not simply a ring. It's the ring combined with everything else. The reported private celebration, the timing, the couple's history, and Tom's own reported references to Zendaya as his wife. Together, those details create a much bigger story. This may be the biggest question of all. Why would two people who are already one of Hollywood's most famous couples want to keep a wedding so private? The answer may be because they've already experienced what happens when the public gets too much access. Tom and Zendaya have spent years dealing with speculation. Their relationship has been analyzed from almost every possible angle. A photograph can trigger thousands of theories. A comment can become a headline. A vacation can create rumors. And a simple interaction can be turned into a story. Imagine experiencing that for years. Eventually, privacy stops being a luxury. It becomes necessary. And that's why a private celebration could actually be the most natural choice for them. They don't need millions of people to validate their relationship. They don't need a giant announcement. They don't need to prove anything. They know what their relationship means to them. And perhaps that's enough. There's another reason this moment feels so emotional. Tom and Zendaya didn't meet after becoming established Hollywood stars. They met when they were much younger. They entered the Spider-Man universe together. They worked together. They traveled together. They promoted movies together. They watched their careers grow. And they grew up in the middle of all of it. That's a rare experience. Most people don't become global stars while simultaneously navigating a serious relationship. Tom and Zendaya did. Their lives changed dramatically around the same time. Their ca.